Welcome to the Military OZ channel. Now in this video we will discuss about in recent weeks, the world watched in shock as a massive bomb, the 30,000-pound bunker buster, was dropped in Yemen, marking a pivotal moment in modern warfare. The question now is, what's next for this war-torn country? And how will this devastating weapon change the future of the region? Yemen has been embroiled in a brutal civil war since 2014, a conflict that has ravaged the country, leaving thousands dead and millions displaced. With factions backed by foreign powers and deep sectarian divisions, the situation has grown more complicated and devastating with each passing year. In late 2024, the world saw the arrival of one of the most powerful and destructive weapons in the arsenal of the United States military, the 30,000-pound bunker buster bomb dropped on Yemen's northern region. A weapon designed to penetrate the toughest fortifications, its impact sends shockwaves through both military and diplomatic circles. But what does this mean for the future of Yemen and the broader Middle East? The 30,000-pound bunker buster is not just any ordinary bomb. It's a precision-guided munition designed to penetrate hardened targets, such as underground bunkers, tunnels, and military facilities. Built to endure the extreme forces of impact and blast, this bomb can obliterate even the most fortified enemy strongholds. This makes the 30,000-pound bunker buster an ideal tool for striking high-value military targets, but its use in Yemen raises several serious questions. The immediate aftermath of the strike was catastrophic. The bomb hit a key military facility, believed to be used by Houthi rebels in the northern region. But, as is often the case in modern warfare, the effects of such a powerful weapon are not confined to enemy combatants alone. While the intended target of the 30,000-pound bunker buster may have been a military installation, its indiscriminate power has resulted in widespread devastation, disproportionately affecting the civilian population already suffering from years of conflict. The United Nations and numerous international organizations have condemned the use of such high-powered weaponry in civilian areas. The legal and ethical implications are significant, raising concerns about the adherence to international humanitarian law, which prohibits attacks that disproportionately affect civilians. The use of the 30,000-pound bunker buster in Yemen has sparked debates about its strategic impact. While its effectiveness in crippling enemy infrastructure is undeniable, the broader question remains: will this weapon change the course of the conflict in Yemen? The destruction of such a significant target sends a clear message. The US is committed to using its most advanced military technologies to support its allies in the region. However, the use of such a devastating weapon may also strengthen the resolve of Houthi forces, rallying them against foreign intervention. The Houthi rebels, backed by Iran, have shown no signs of backing down. In fact, the bombing could escalate the violence, leading to more retaliatory strikes and further destabilizing the region. It's possible that this could drag in even more international powers, turning Yemen into a more significant battleground in the Middle East. The humanitarian toll of this bombing cannot be overstated. Already, Yemen is facing what the UN has described as the world's worst humanitarian crisis. Over 20 million people are in need of aid, and this latest attack has made things worse. Access to basic needs such as food, water, and medical care has been severely restricted. The US has provided aid to Yemen in the past, but this latest escalation only adds to the growing divide between military interventions and the desperate need for a humanitarian response. As the dust settles from the impact of the 30,000-pound bunker buster, Yemen's future seems uncertain. The use of such a powerful weapon in the heart of the conflict has changed the dynamics on the ground, but its long-term impact remains to be seen. For the people of Yemen, there is no simple answer. The legacy of the 30,000-pound bunker buster may ultimately be one of destruction, but it could also serve as a turning point, forcing international players to reconsider their strategies in the region. The road to peace is long and fraught with challenges, but it is one that must be walked if Yemen is to rebuild and heal from the wounds of war. In the end, the true test will not be in the size or power of the bombs dropped, but in the resilience of the people who are left to pick up the pieces and rebuild their lives. The explosion, a blinding flash of light followed by a shockwave that rattled the ground, didn't discriminate between soldiers and civilians. The bomb's destructive power affected surrounding towns and villages, sending shockwaves through the local population. The air was thick with dust, and the ground, already scarred by years of war, became a new graveyard for the innocent. The humanitarian crisis in Yemen, which has been called the worst in the world by the United Nations, is only growing more severe. The 30,000-pound bunker buster has further complicated an already catastrophic situation. The United Nations has warned that millions of Yemenis are at risk of starvation, disease, and a complete collapse of the social structure. The use of such a powerful weapon is exacerbating a crisis that already shows no signs of slowing down. On the battlefield, the 30,000-pound bunker buster's impact is undeniable. The Houthi forces, the primary target of the bombing, suffered significant damage to their military infrastructure. However, the question arises: does this bomb, as powerful as it is, offer a true path to victory? Indeed, while the immediate military objectives may have been achieved, the use of such an immense weapon could have unintended consequences. The bombing could not only escalate the conflict, but could also have wider ramifications for the Middle East. Yemen has become a proxy battleground for global powers, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and the United States among them. The stakes in Yemen are not just about the country itself, but about influence, power, and the geopolitics of the region. The human toll of the bombing is something that cannot be ignored. Over 250,000 people have died since the conflict began, and millions more have been displaced. The 30,000-pound bunker buster only adds to the suffering. The destruction of infrastructure is compounded by the psychological trauma inflicted on Yemen's population. The bombings, the constant threat of death, and the destruction of everyday life have created a generation scarred by conflict. As the dust settles and the political fallout continues, the question remains: what happens next for Yemen? The path forward is fraught with uncertainty. The bombing may have crippled key military targets, but it hasn't solved the underlying issues that have fueled the war for nearly a decade.